Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video we will be looking at AQA Alevel Psychology Specimen 1 Paper 1 Exemplar Answers for Attachment, which you need to know for AQA Alevel Psychology. I hope you enjoy this video and find it helpful. Let's get started. Please note that these answers have been produced with knowledge of the mark scheme but have not been approved by the mark scheme themselves. There are 3 assessment objectives, AOs, in psychology. In this video they are color-coded. AO1 Knowledge, purple. AO2 Application, blue. AO3 Evaluation, red and green. Question 1. Name 3 stages in the development of attachments identified by Schaefer. 3 marks. Asocial, indiscriminate, multiple. Read the item and then answer the question that follows. A nursery school worker and her manager were chatting at the end of the day. How did the new toddlers settle in today? Asked the manager. They behaved very differently, replied the nursery school worker. Max was distressed when his mother left but was happy to see her at the end of the day. Jessica arrived clinging to her mother and I could not calm her down when her mother left. William barely seemed to notice when his mother left and did not even look up when she returned to collect him. Question 2. Name the attachment type demonstrated by each of the children in the conversation above by writing the attachment type next to the name below. 3 marks. Max, type B securely attached. Jessica, type C insecure resistant. William, type A insecure avoidant. Question 3. Briefly evaluate learning theory as an explanation of attachment. 4 marks. A strength of the learning theory as an explanation of attachment is that it provides a plausible and scientific explanation of attachment formations. The learning theory is founded in an already established theory, as humans do learn from association and reinforcement. It is likely that there is an association between the provision of needs and the person providing those needs, leading to strong attachments. Furthermore, with the learning theory being based on behaviorism, it has supporting research. Pavlov demonstrated the process of classical conditioning in dogs and Skinner demonstrated the process of operant conditioning with mice and pigeons. This is a strength because it implies that the process of attachment formation is intricately tied to how individuals learn from their experiences and interactions, reinforcing the bond between meeting needs and developing strong emotional connections. With the empirical support from Pavlov and Skinner's research further solidifies the credibility of the learning theory in explaining the mechanisms underlying attachment in various settings. A limitation of the learning theory as an explanation of attachment is that it takes a reductionist approach. The learning theory focuses on basic processes, with a stimulus and response link and reinforcement. This is too simplistic to explain complex attachment behaviors and ignores all cognitive processes emotions that influence attachment. This also cannot explain why attachment occurs, unlike Bowlby's monotropic attachment theory, which provides a more holistic explanation. Bowlby argued the advantages centered around protection and survival, which is more in line with our understanding of evolution. This is a limitation because it suggests that the learning theory's simplistic view, concentrating on stimulus-response connections and reinforcement, falls short in explaining the intricate attachment behaviors shaped by cognitive processes and emotions, unlike Bowlby's monotropic attachment theory, which offers a more holistic perspective rooted in evolutionary advantages related to protection and survival. Read the item and then answer the question that follows. A group of researchers used event sampling to observe children's friendships over a period of 3 weeks at break times and lunch times during the school day. Question 4. Explain what is meant by event sampling. 2 marks. Event sampling is counting and recording the number of times a specific event that is relevant to the investigation and pre-established occurs. In this investigation, this may be every time a child in the playground is approached by another child. The investigation in question 4 is an example of a naturalistic observation. Question 5. Briefly discuss how observational research might be improved by conducting observations in a controlled environment. 4 marks. Controlled observations have a high level of control over variables. Controlled observations allow researchers to precisely manipulate different variables and control confounding and extraneous variables in the environment to isolate the effects and influence of these variables on behavior. This helps to establish cause and effect relationships. Controlled observations are also replicable. Controlled observations use standardized procedures and have a structured nature. This allows other researchers to replicate the study and conduct the same experiment under the same conditions to verify, validate, and enhance the reliability of the findings, as accurate and consistent methods lead to more dependable results. Question 6. Discuss research into the influence of early attachment on adult relationships. 8 marks. Bowlby's 1969 internal working model forms the basis continuity hypothesis, suggesting that attachments in early life form and act as a template and blueprint for future childhood and later adult relationships. An infant's first relationship with their primary attachment figure leads to the formation of a mental representation or schema of their first relationship. The quality of this attachment is crucial because this will give the infant a template, which will powerfully affect the nature of their future relationships, e.g., friendships, romantic relationship, as a parent. An infant, whose first attachment is a good experience with a loving and reliable attachment figure, will tend to assume this is how relationships are meant to be. They will seek out functional relationships and behave functionally within them, e.g., without being too uninvolved or emotionally close, insecure avoidant attachment, or being controlling and argumentative, insecure resistant attachment. An infant, whose first attachment is a bad experience with a hateful and unreliable attachment figure, will tend to assume this is how relationships is meant to be. This may mean they struggle to form relationships in the first place, or they may not behave appropriately within relationships, displaying insecure avoidant or insecure resistant behavior towards friends and partners. Hazan and Shaver, 1987, aimed to investigate whether there was a relationship between attachment type and later adult romantic and intimate relationships. They conducted a study using 620 responses from 205 men and 415 women were collected from people aged 14 to 82 years old and analyzed from a love quiz printed in an American local newspaper. The quiz had 3 sections. 1. Assessed respondents' current or most important relationship. 2. Assessed general love experiences such as number of partners. 3. Assessed attachment type by asking respondents to choose which of 3 statements best described their feelings. They found that 56% were classified as securely attached, having good, long-lasting and sustainable romantic experiences and concepts of love and trust within relationships, and were comfortable and capable of intimacy. 25% were classified as insecure avoidant, struggling with romantic relationships, being jealous, fearful and uncomfortable with intimacy, doubtful about the existence or durability of love, and do not feel as though they need partners to be happy. 19% were classified as insecure resistant, struggling to maintain relationships and are self-doubtful, most vulnerable to loneliness, needy and put too much pressure on the relationship. Hazan and Shaver, 1987, concluded that adult romantic relationships are influenced by early attachment styles formed in childhood. A limitation of research into attachment and later relationships is that it is socially sensitive. Research into attachment and later relationships can be considered socially sensitive for several reasons. Firstly, it may reinforce negative stereotypes about individuals with insecure attachments, suggesting that they are destined to struggle in their relationships. This could lead to stigma and discrimination against those who have had difficult early experiences. Additionally, findings from attachment research can have implications for parenting and child-rearing practices. If parents feel that their attachment style will determine their child's future relationship success, it may create undue pressure and anxiety, potentially affecting their parenting behaviors. Moreover, the emphasis on early attachment experiences might overlook the role of later life experiences and social contexts in shaping relationships. This can lead to a deterministic view that does not account for resilience and the capacity for change, which is particularly important in understanding the influence of supportive environments and interventions on mental health outcomes. This is a limitation because it suggests that individuals with insecure attachments may have a fixed trajectory in their relationships, which can undermine the understanding that resilience and positive change are possible. It implies that early experiences are the sole determinants of later relationship success, neglecting the impact of supportive environments and interventions that can lead to recovery and growth. This deterministic view can be harmful, as it may discourage individuals from seeking help or believing in their ability to improve their relational patterns. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more content like this. Bye.